slamming this week is snow tubing. Snow tubing, number one, is not made for men of my stature. I can't deal with this Madden 21 game, man. It's so terrible.
Y'all act like football stops being played when y'all leave Mecklenburg County. We play football here in Cabarrus County too. And then even though it was raining, I was rolling around in the yard doing freaking grass angels out there.
Hallelujah!
Hey.
Oh my God.
Hey, all I'm gonna say is make sure your wife, your girlfriends, your mistress, look, I'm back.
See, I got my hat on backwards. And it ain't because I'm a G either. It's because I'm angry. I'm going to tell y'all why I'm angry.
So, I'm going to have to start. This is going to be a large group of people. So, I might have to, walk around with, a slime gun or a slime cannon, or maybe put the slime in, an old school super soaker.
Joe Hughes! Joe Hughes! Cowboy Joe! You know it's a big night if Cowboy Joe's here. My goodness.
Y'all always put me on blast first, man. Who my slime in? Good question.
All right, good evening, everyone. Welcome to Football Focus Weekly. It's a big night. It's the State Semifinals tonight, being featured on the show. Really big games going on. We're going to really feature the mega matchup between Huff and Chambers, and we're really going to get down into the weeds and talk about the nuts and bolts of a great rematch from earlier this season that Huff won 16-10. Also, for the first time in CFI history, we are giving something away. Our budget has allowed us to purchase 2 tickets for the Huff and Chambers game on Friday night. So if you can, comment on who you believe will win the game between Huff or Chambers. And sometime during the show tonight, the professor, Kenneth McClamrock, will choose a winner in what we call the CFI game show fashion in our high technology budget. So stick around for that. But that being said, we've got a lot of people here with us tonight early, which is kind of a throwback to the old days when we used to be on time, which is awesome. It was awesome. That's who's here with us from the start. So I want to welcome Big Shelby, another playoff victory. I know that one was especially sweet.
Big already, man. Congrats, man. Let's go.
Hey, man, I'm just happy to be in the number one more time.
Man, I don't heard about it all weekend, man. You gotta see this dude in our chat, man. You pathetic.
I'm just happy to be in the number one more time, and God is keep blessing us down there at Shelby High School.
All right.
Oh, Lord.
Well, amen. Amen.
You, boy.
Big Billups, welcome. We're glad to have you at 7:30 or roundabouts. That's awesome, man. It's good to see you.
Yeah, I ain't feel like being on CP time tonight, so I came on time. So I got the ambiance because I don't know how to turn my daughter.
Yeah, we got to see that, man. Look at that, man.
I don't know how.
That's beautiful.
I don't know how to turn my daughter's nightlight off, so y'all don't have to. I don't know where the remote is.
Well, that's awesome. That's awesome. Producer, we're glad to have you once again. How you doing, sir?
Pretty good. Glad to be here as always.
Yeah, glad to have you, man.
To you, Brandon, but the next person, I'm disgusted.
And we have the Queen.
Right now.
The Queen is with us. How you doing?
No, zoom in on.
I'm doing good. Hope you guys are.
Let's see what team hoodie you got on tonight, Queen.
That's who she's going for.
The Huskies are featured this week. What a big game.
And she got the matching nails, too. Lord.
Listen.
Lord Jesus. Hey, I ain't neutral. I got Up in the D coat, baby. We got the big D, baby. We blue.
All right. And then, of course, last but not least, the professor, the engine, and also hey! That's right. That's right.
Hey, how can I get one over, man?
You know, Pep, we continue to lead the whole prep Charlotte sports industry of shows. The first time in internet history in local sports that we're giving away 2 tickets to a sold-out game Friday night. Pep, you continue to change the game, my friend, and I'm proud of you.
Well, I appreciate it. You know, the show budget has allowed for us to be that gracious.
Yeah, we got special effects now.
Yeah, special effects and custom gear.
Big time now, man.
And custom nails. Yeah.
All right, so
Oh, hey, we not in it. Hey, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. We're not in it. That's all Cherie House. Anything you need to post about CFI, please direct it Cherie House, not at us. Not CFI. We had a production meeting. We're not going to be joining the team, but she missed the meeting, so that's what you get. So hey.
All right.
Gear or your school gear. That's the only gear we say. CFI or school gear.
All right. Well, that being said, we got some comments leading off the show. The chat administrators here this week. We missed you last week. There was no administration going on with the chat, and comments were just all over the place.
Running rampant.
I mean,
that crazy too.
If you're gonna put in PTO, you got to send a message to me. And I did not get a message. Come on now.
Don't lie, man. Get a booger, put your booger screen up.
What is going on? Anyway.
No, you were digging his nose. That's ugly.
Okay. All right. Gotcha. So in the comment, Markel, you know, if I could get a PS5, it may be up for giving away. But
I hope I can enter into it.
What was that, Billups?
But 3 people, you may not have one, but 3 people in here have one.
I do have one, but I don't have one to give away.
Oh, I ain't giving mine away. You go, hey, I'll tell you how to do it.
I'm keeping mine.
Y'all got a PS5. Wow, y'all blessed, man.
Shut up, Well. You slang in them shoe boxes over there.
Well, the producer has like every gaming system known to man, so maybe I can get him to come up off of like a PS3 or something. We can throw that in.
Price, I'll come off anything you want in this house. Trust me.
A price? No, this is for free, man. For free.
Oops, I'm having connection issues. My internet's failing.
All right, John's speeches. We in the building. Congrats, Big Shelby. Yep, there you go. Tiara Downer, Big Shelby. All right. Let's see here. Once again, make sure you comment to be on the screen where we can see it. To be entered for 2 tickets. All right, so there we go. All right. Oh, I think that connection's back now. There we go. All right.
My bad. I had to reset the modem, man. It's good now.
You dialed back in?
Yeah, man.
There you go.
My AOL disc had to switch it out.
All right, so let's go to get into some real football talk here. So last week we saw some great football across the state of North Carolina. Huff defeating East Forsyth 26-14. I think, Queen, you were there. What were your thoughts on that one?
I was there. Hence where I got my hoodie from. Thank you, Coach Billups, for that. No, it was definitely a good game for Huff. They defense just all over the field. They it was sort of a low scoring game, which is what I was expecting. East Forsyth did do some things on their defense to kind of slow Huff down a little, but not much. And I did want to shout out a couple dudes on that team because I didn't get a chance to talk to anybody after the game. I wanted to shout out number 16. His name was Brandon Palmer. He got a pick six in that game. That was a really big turn of events for Huff. That really kind of got them going with that one. I think the score at the time was like 7-6. Huff's kicker had missed that initial field goal in the game. And so, it was a really tight game up until that point. So just wanted to shout him out. Also, I wanted to shout out Nolan Hauser. I think he was the actual kicker. And although he missed that first kick, had, I think, scored the next 3 or so field goals, got the PAT, just really consistent dude. Wanted to shout him out as well. So just a lot going on Huff's side of the ball that game.
So what I'm showing you guys is from Zayflix, who is our newest member of the CFI family, and these are his highlights from the Huff and East Forsyth matchup. If you go to YouTube and just type in Zayflix, just like Netflix, just put a Z in front of it, Z-A-Y, you see the kind of work that he's able to do. He does a great job in getting these pregame shots the kids love and put some nice music behind it. It's really top level quality stuff. So make sure you go and check him out and subscribe to Zayflix on YouTube and check out these great highlights. He'll be at Chambers and Huff like the rest of us, well, most of us. I know Big Shelby has a little bit of other stuff to do, but the rest of us will be at Chambers and Huff this Friday night.
Not Coach Bills. I'll be in spirit.
Okay.
Ain't nobody covering the Chevy game?
No.
All right, so the next matchup we were going to look at is...
I'm going to Shelby.
You are?
What? Okay. Well, all right.
You are?
Good.
I am. I want to go to Shelby.
We know why, because there you go. That's a good decision.
What size shirt you got, man? I might find see if I can get you a shirt.
Because I want to support Shelby. I ain't been able to go all season.
Cherie has came to plenty of Shelby
I want
games.
to go to Shelby. I'm gonna get a Golden Lions sweatshirt too. How about that?
All right, so producer, we saw Chambers dominate Weddington 45-14. What were your thoughts on the game?
Well, it's pretty close at the start, for a little bit. First quarter going into the second quarter, Weddington's a very good team. But after that, finishing out the half and the whole second half, it was all Chambers. If I'm not mistaken, Weddington didn't score at all in the second half. Pretty much a shutout in that second half by Chambers. Chambers just, they were just clicking on all cylinders, to be honest. And, it just shows what kind of team they are to dominate a very good team. It's not like they just ran over a subpar opponent. They were just clicking. They had the energy and everything. And just at the end of the day, Chambers was just, overwhelmed, unfortunately. But, great showing by Chambers.
Yeah. I agree with everything you said there. The execution was really, really strong. And I said a lot of my thoughts on Friday Night Live. So, most of you guys saw that. So I won't go ahead and rehash all that. But it was just really impressive. It was one of the most impressive performances that I've seen in a long time against a really top-notch opponent. And, hats off to the Chambers coaching staff. I thought they did a hell of a job on both sides of the ball. And dismantling a team that hadn't been dismantled in a very long time. And you're a special team when you're able to do those kind of things. So, hats off once again to Chambers for that big victory. Let's go to 3A and take a look before we start previewing next week's games. Because we had some good action in 3A as well. I hope Joe Hughes is watching or able to come on a little bit later on.
Don't wear irons and turtlenecks.
South Point, 34-27 over Crest in overtime. I saw some video on this. There was a controversial holding call that has been talked about a lot that went against Crest in overtime. I believe Big Shelby, that would have won the game for Crest if that holding call didn't happen.
No, it was still 27 up, wasn't it?
I'm not sure. I haven't really seen anything about their game or comment on their game. I'm just focused on what we got going on right now.
Good job.
Gotcha.
No, I think it was if I'm not mistaken, I think the score was still 27. And
Okay.
that call happened I think it was the last play. I saw the video. Don't people know better, but hey, I'll tell y'all this on holding. That high refs, hey, that high school ref for a reason. I would tell you, they don't miss some calls. It happened in the NFL, it happened everywhere. So hey, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? If we got same coach, don't let the ref beat you.
Yep. But I did see where I think South Point had jumped out early on Chris too. I think
they did.
So that was a good game. That was a good game to go to overtime.
Yeah, I think it was 14-0 South Point. Then Chris came back and tied it. Then it was just really, really great football all the way through. I know it's following Joe's updates on Twitter. You know, he said it was probably one of the best games he's seen. I can't remember his exact quote, but you know, he was really, really excited about the great football that was displayed by two rivals. So. South Point moves on to take on Dudley. We'll talk about that in a little bit. And then on the other side of the bracket, of course, Dudley defeated Statesville 20-6. I think most people expected Dudley to win that football game. Statesville hung in there, but just weren't able to.
Talking to somebody who went to their game, they said Statesville is young. They said that's all it was. It was good. Mm-hmm. They'll be back.
Yeah, I mean they're a program that is really, really good, and they're a little overshadowed, I guess, from where they are and in the conference they play in. But they find themselves being a high seed pretty much every year. So
they play good football down there.
Yeah,
the Mecklenburg County person gives another county props. They play great football. They always have. I'm glad to see them back doing what they're doing, So that it was a good game from what I heard.
Absolutely. So we'll talk about South Point Dudley in a little bit. Then down in 2A, there was a little football game at Shelby that I'll let Big Shelby talk about here.
Don't need to talk about it. Just
a little football game. Come on, man.
Go ahead.
Man, it's a great night, man. I'm happy for our kids on the tradition with the Shelby and Reedsville, man. It was a great night. We had a great game plan from top to bottom, man. We challenged our guys a little bit at halftime after having a rough first start. But no, it was a fun night for us, man. This time of the year, we look forward to trying to play our best football, man, and keep winning. So it was a great night, man. I'm happy the Reedsville fans came down and made it home safely. Didn't nobody get injured during the game, I don't believe. So it was a good night for us, Chevy Lions, man.
Why you laughing over there?
Because Billers want me to just go all in and be who he know I am, but I am changing. I'm changing. You have to get two versions. You got to get it on air and off air.
Okay.
As much as I want to say certain things, my guys took care of everything. Our guys took care of everything.
Well, we're going to talk about the stuff that's being said off air in just a minute. Because, No, we're going to talk about it. We're going to talk about it. But, great job, by the Golden Lions. Once again, they're going to take on East Surrey. And this was a heck of a game, man. East Surrey winning over Maiden 36-35. I mean, it's really, really good football right there. So East Surrey is going to make the ride down from Pilot Mountain to Shelby. And play the Golden Lions this
You ever been to
Friday
Pilot
night.
Mountain?
Who you
No,
talking to?
Fat man. I was just
No.
here.
I've never been to Pilot Mountain. I think it's in the middle of the state, right? Somewhere in the middle of the state.
Oh, okay. Learned something new today.
I don't know. I'm asking. I have no idea.
I thought you were about to give us some information.
Right. Somebody in the chat will comment. They're sure they. Somebody
there's
there.
another place.
Look,
There's another
no
place
matter
you can't
what
go.
school we
Pilot
mention,
Mountain.
someone in the chat knows exactly where it is.
So if you know where Pilot Mountain is, please let us know. We can't give you tickets, but we may give you a consolation prize if you're able to tell us exactly where Pilot Mountain is.
Yes,
I know it's fire right now.
See if I keychain.
All right. So that being said, that's the review. Comments, I tell you. All right. But now we got to talk about, well, first of all, before we move on to our next topic, Coach Lash from Chambers has something to say here. Says, evening, ladies and gentlemen. Mac, you made the video this week, dropping at 8 here for this week's bulletin
Don't be
board
bull crapping
material.
me, Lash. It better be good stuff, man. I haven't been on a video all season since last spring. Don't be bull crap. This better be the best video yet.
Look at his face, man. Look, clam up, boy.
You are the viral king, man. You are the viral king. It's amazing.
You can't take him nowhere.
I'm gonna get Zay to get me with my shirt off at the game Friday night beforehand and pregame too.
So you gonna do the cougar walk and everything.
We are getting a lot of material for CFI After Dark, I tell you. We really are. God, nice.
Yeah.
Hey, JB said it's up past Mount Airy. That's what JB said. That's where Pilot Mountain is.
Up past Mount. Oh, really? Oh, wow.
Oh,
Where-
yeah, I knew somebody
JB
knew.
said that's where it's at.
Mount Airy. Who's been to Mount Airy? Anyone been to Mount
Andy
Airy?
Griffin.
Yep.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Another place that CFI can't go. We can't go to Mount Airy. We can't go to that place y'all were talking about, no private school.
I'm just asking, has anyone been there? Good gracious. Miss Burlos, you're right. That's be the consolation prize body.
Yeah. They got to go to the gas station and get it, then email you the receipt.
When me and B was at the Chambers game, he had a little small cooler. He said, "Oh, y'all want one of these bottle?" And they was hot. They was like, and it was hot.
Don't put them in the cooler. Let me be hot.
But y'all took them though. Y'all took them.
Little boy, yeah, because we, and our coaches, when you offer something free, you better take it because you might not get another chance. You never know. See,
All right.
because you don't tell the truth.
It is
Okay.
on fire, though, for the record. Pilot Mountain is on fire right now. Campfire this weekend. The whole mountain's been burning all week.
Oh no. Good gracious.
Thank you, Kim.
Man. All right.
More than just viral videos. That's what you get from me, Billups.
We got to address a big problem going on the internet. For some reason, grown adults continue to say ridiculous things on the internet. It has now become a theme in North Carolina high school football for coaches to take these things and either post them or send them to their players, and it motivates them to go out and destroy their opponents on Friday nights.
You're talking about the Facebook group.
Well, that's one example. That's one example.
Look, that's why Big Shelby got his head hacked down right now. I know what he's talking
So there are certain places you can go online where North Carolina high school football is talked about. I'm not going to name all the places, but if you just go to a thing called High School Football Talk on Facebook and you just Google it, you'll find what you're looking for.
You don't want to go in there, man. It's
But
okay.
it is insane the amount of things being said on social media about programs, coaches, players, and some of it is being taken by, these kids, and they are using it as fuel, and they are posting it and saying, and they're calling people out. The what's the kid's name? Malachi? Yeah, Malachi from Shelby posted something last week from one of these groups. Somebody saying something crazy. It don't make no sense. If you're watching this show, you're probably a part of one of these groups or one of these pages somewhere where you got these people that get on here and just start talking reckless, and they put on the uniform in 30 years and they come out here and just say things that just don't make no sense.
Yeah,
and it ain't right. Man. I mean, and I'm telling adults, and I hate that, and it's the adults doing it. Kids going back and forth is one thing. We've seen that before, producer. We've done interviews where, kids will call each other out, but that's part of the game. But you grown 50 years old sitting on an internet message board or in a group or whatever and typing all crazy and talking about you gonna come beat somebody up and all this crazy stuff. Come on, man. Think about what you're saying.
Yo, Pep, in 2013, we were playing the state championship game versus Havelock when I was at Concord. And a knucklehead Concord fan, had nothing to do with our program, never played football. He attended the high school. Made up a rap about Havelock where he said some silly derogatory things. Nothing malicious, but it was silly. Havelock, of course, took offense to that, and they posted a reply after they beat us in the state championship game. The year before, there was a grown man who still participates in some of these online, whatever they are, and he posted on an online form that he was collecting money to be given out. This was right after the Saints bounty gate deal, right? He was taking up money as a bounty to take out Havelock players. Well, a parent contacted me on a Tuesday. This is Tuesday of the state championship game week, and sent me a screenshot of it. I immediately went to our principal, had our principal make sure that this person was not allowed at the game or at Concord High School for the following year, for that matter. And she also sent a message to Havelock's principal to let them know this person had nothing to do with our team, our program, our players, nothing. Our kids didn't even know who this fool was. He was just some knucklehead online trying to get attention, claiming that he had a bounty of money, and he listed our kids by name. That linebacker A, linebacker B, defensive end C was going to collect for taking Havelock players out of the game. Adults take this so far. We've all heard about dads and uncles living vicariously through their sons, but it's ridiculous. It's embarrassing. It's a shame. These people should not be allowed anywhere near children because they are complete jokes.
I mean, if you have to sit down and think about your life. I mean, let's think about this. You go and you work your job 8-10 hours a day. You come home, and the first thing you decide to do is log on and start talking about high school football kids and what they gonna do against your opponent on Friday night. That's pretty dang on sad, man. That's just sad.
Crazy.
I mean, I'd love to get one of these guys, to come on the show at some point.
Oh, I can name the Concord guys from 8 years ago. I won't, and 9 years ago.
I know the guy. I know the guy that said something about a couple of our kids. He's the head coach's son. So I guess they all just took L's Friday night.
The head coach's son?
What?
So it's fine, though.
He's got some issues, some mental issues.
Oh no, it comes with the territory.
No, it not. Well, I don't know why people are like shocked, man. You gotta hear some of the things that said to people at games and stuff like that.
Well, we've all experienced that now.
I'm just saying,
Right.
why are you shocked? Like, hey, people crazy. You be looking at like some of the stuff that was said to us at Garrett, and we're like this, huh? Do you see what we got? And they just think they know more than everybody. So, I think Coach Webb and people at Shelby, I think they handled that with response, right? You can't be upset when the kids, like me, I think the kids should be able to, Big Kirk, Red Huff, I love him because he talked and he backed it up. And, that's the kid that we did when we was in school. But like I said, adults, but I don't know why people are shocked. People are crazy. I don't say nothing in that high school football Facebook group. I just sit there and read it and be laughing. And then with coaches, people that I know who coach, they say stuff. I'm like, dude, why y'all even? Their opinions doesn't matter. Like even on NC Prep, they were talking about the Chambers staff talking about their most dysfunctional group of kids that you ever been around. They're not disciplined and stuff. I said, man, y'all really don't know them kids. That's a great group of kids, and they got great staff. They talk bad about you. Talk bad about some of these schools. All the schools y'all be talking bad about. Their kids are actually pretty great. Like Huff and Chambers kids are pretty great. Now there's a school in Charlotte when they got put out the playoffs, and they had the same incident when they played AK. Nobody talk about that. But you know what I'm saying? Like, y'all let that slide.
I know.
But and if issues keep happening at this team at school every year, but y'all want to talk about the urban schools, or y'all want to talk about us being cheating you, they recruiting all the kids. Like at the end of the day, let me tell y'all something about training. It happens. It's the way of the world, man. And I don't know why y'all criticize that coaching staff. The coach, man. Chachi and them coach, man. The boys coach. Chamber staff, they coach, man. That's why they there all the time. Like, just let people live, man. Like, it's crazy. Like, I love when y'all say we can't coach again. I'm like, well, y'all come coach the kids then show me y'all can win with the same group of kids we get and go play with some 9th and 10th graders, go play Butler, and y'all don't get the snot beat a kick out of y'all. Kids who don't.
Well, you know, you bring up a good point, because I'll tell you, when I was coaching at Harding a couple times and people would say things, we would turn around. We'd be looking in the crowd like, hey, you, come here. Yeah, call them out. You know, and some places will call you out on your stuff, man.
At website test this. I love when people yell at their kid, tell them to do this and that. Dude, do you even know what defense we playing, what covers he playing right now? Put your outside foot up, not your inside. Sir, he's doing the technique we don't call him. Shut up. You don't know what we're doing. But so that for me in saying that is I laugh at it. Like that message board don't mean nothing.
You know what's funny? When I used to be at Carolina Varsity, and that's when the online forums were just crazy. And, you know, we had people that were reading them and everything, and they would come and say, hey, man, they saying this about us, that about us. I used to say, man, that fool don't know nothing. I know who that is. Why you worried about what that fool's saying? He don't know. Well, I can't say what I want to say, but
it's a bunch of tomfoolery. Tell them to come.
Yeah.
Y'all know so much about football. Y'all got people undisciplined. Like, it was a shame that y'all said that about Chamber versus Weddington. And then the shoe got, and then when the personal foul said, well, they said, well, it looked like Weddington kids are undisciplined. No, they're not. They just got beat, man. What's called do a great job at Weddington. It's y'all, dude. Sometimes that's what happens in football. It's a winner and it's a loser. Some people get, hey, sometimes your players will play better. It's basic football. Like, that's why I tell everybody, you can't talk bad about the change program. You can't talk bad about us. You say they got this kid coming over. Okay, well, hey, at the end of the day, hey, let's play football. That's what we did. Hey, y'all laugh at us get our teeth kicked in. And it took some parents from Durham Butler to say, man, these kids don't get severely hurt for us to go play what we said during the summer. I said, hey, I came on the show. Get them prep, said, what y'all looking at? I said, boy, we got 4 kids out there the whole summer. I said, we need to play JV because somebody's going to get severely hurt. And then y'all was laughing online when Butler beat us, but y'all don't know. We got 4 kids severely hurt. We had 1 kid break his collarbone. We had 2 kids get severe concussions. And we had another one about breaking his leg, and he don't want to play football no more. So that's funny. That's the stuff y'all don't get to see.
Yeah, and 99% of the people doing that crap, you know, they don't know the story.
I saw that stuff. I wanted to say something for y'all, but I'm a reformed man, boy. I tell you,
So we got some comments here. Let's see. Ms. Burlow's classless. Yeah. Yeah. John wanting to know the name of the group.
You don't want to. I'm telling you, John, you don't want to go in there.
You said it. You did say. You said the name of
it. John, if you send me a message on Facebook, I'll share it with you. Jermaine, the adults are over the top. Yeah, they are. Miss Burlow's again. It's criminal. Yeah.
Yeah.
Miss Moten, welcome, Miss Moten. Not called having a life. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, that's some kids though. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
That's crazy, but I'm not surprised because
he still gets on those message boards sometimes. I still get messages, screenshots people send to me from them.
Because they have no life, man. They have no life.
That's pathetic.
That's why Charlotte football got the ugly black eye we got, because they say we don't know because we got crazy people like that on these message boards and stuff like that. And I tell everybody, there ain't nothing you say about me as a coach. I don't care. At the end of the day, I don't care. I go home and kiss my baby. It's all right. Whatever.
All right. Producer Queen, y'all got anything to add on this last word on social media smack talk?
It's nonsense and
Well, I
crazy,
was
just
just
like you
gonna
said.
say, yeah, and people, especially on social media, because you can talk all the junk you want to talk. That's what I feel like it is, So whatever.
All right, producer, you got anything to add on that?
No, it's basically just as crazy as you guys talked about. I mean, but it's almost like guys just kind of, it's almost like they miss that feeling of being on the field, and they're trying to relive
On
that
Rico.
feeling, that competitive feeling as growing as adults, and it's really not the same. Like you're never gonna recapture that. So talking junk back and forth and trying to feel like you're part of the program, that's really not the way to do it. I mean, and they get really personal on there. It's not, they don't always keep it on the field. They really
Yeah.
get personal with
But
some of the stuff they say, man. So
yeah.
but
Just because you buy a sweatshirt and you wear the school apparel don't mean you're part of the coaching staff. So I would like to tell everybody out there who do that stuff, just because you do all that stuff, buy the stuff, you're a supporter, don't give you the right to talk bad about that team's opponent or talk bad about that team staff. You got something to say, call the athletic director, the principal, and the head coach and schedule a meeting. Then you say whatever you need to say. But you try to speak for a coaching staff like a bunch of them. I think it's a bunch of them parents. They do it for a lot of these programs. They say, well, I've been around this program. I know how it is. No, because it's some people who talk bad about Creek program. And right when they start made that playoff run and won them games, they start talking good about it. So they don't. It's life, guys. They don't love you when you're on top. But when you down, they don't kick the dog piss out of you. I'm just telling you, that's how it is.
it's like people need to be reminded these are kids at the end of the day.
They don't, but Brandon, they don't care. It's people,
I get it.
All right, so last word on this. Let's see, Jermaine. It was pretty good right here. So right, that's how them old timers be in their fields, acting like they playing. Just let these kids enjoy playing the game of football. I think that sums it up pretty good.
Exactly.
Right. That's good.
We're overanalyzing everything they did. We out of school.
All right, so let's talk about it. It's a big game Friday night. We're giving away tickets once again as a reminder. Comment who you think is going to win, Huff or Chambers, to be included in the drawing or the game show that's going to come up here in a few minutes. Comment Huff or Chambers who you think is going to win, and then the professor will lead us in the first ever CFI game show, with the grand prize being 2 tickets to the Huff and Chambers game. So, all right. So let's start talking about it. Chambers at Huff, the first matchup. Queen, you were there. I know Justin was there from us. It was a 16-10 Huff victory. What do you remember from that first matchup that really stood out to you?
Just a ton of deep on both sides,
All right, Queen, I think we got some audio problems. I'm gonna put you backstage. If you're going to go out and come back in, we'll see. I think that'll clear it up. But I watched a lot of the Huff highlights from East Forsyth that Zayflix got, and it gave me some good insight to how that game, kind of went. They had issues, getting down, in the red zone scoring touchdowns. Nolan Hauser, the kicker, had a really, really good game, kicking field goals, getting points, which was, anytime you get down there in the playoffs, you got to get points. And that's a great weapon, that Huff has in him for sure. But I think the defense, really fast. East Forsyth, anything they tried horizontally, it was being run down. It was a great performance by the Huskies defense.
Yeah, offense. Achilles Hill finally got the best of them. Like, they all been problems all year. So it ain't me talking junk about nobody. I don't want nobody to say. They just watching the game. Their defense, that offense couldn't step up on that defense level. That game would have been a closer game than what it was. But I think it was a better game than what people thought. Even though that score was like what it is, if you watch that game, go watch it because it was a good game. It's just like I said, each sports side offense could not do nothing. It was, and that's been a problem the whole year. And I think they, sometimes when they were throwing the ball, I think they should have stuck with the little run game. But I'm on the sidelines. I'm on the offseason, but it was a good game.
Pep, we talked about this last week. I said that not only is Huff's defense extremely fast, but their 4-2-5 defense is set up to force teams to run sideline to sideline.
Yep.
In order to beat a 4-2-5 team, you have got to be able to run it in between the tackles because those defensive players are taught and coached to steal the play to the edge, to make them run outside because that's where all of their athletes are waiting. And if a team tries to run outside versus Huff, it's going to be very difficult because that's what that defense is set up to stop. It was created to stop the spread offenses that have become so prolific in the quick screen games and the outside edges that have dominated offensive football for the last 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 years.
Yep, I agree. And like in that secondary, boy, that secondary and that linebacker group, boy, they are fast and they're mean. And it's different than being fast when you play defense and coach defense. And their mentality is mean too. Boy, that's dangerous. They embrace their same energy as their DC Chachi does. Because Chachi, people always talk about everybody, but Chachi is one of the best defensive minded coaches in the state of North Carolina. And we should be blessed to be, see his product. Because he has not put up a bad defense out there since he's been in control of that defense. And you got to give him his props for it. But like I said, the only thing that's scary about Huff, I think the offense, to me, no shade, it just looked like they still trying to figure out who they are on offensively. And that's what happened at Red Zone. To me, that running back they got, hey, that's the horse right there. He's the horse. And I think the game between them and Chambers this time is going to be a lot better because I think Chambers was having an identity crisis on offense. They really were trying to get the thing rolling and stuff like that. And, Bubba, this is his first year starting, so he had to get used to that. But I think he don't find a wave. I think there's going to be some fireworks this game. I ain't gonna predict the game, but I think it's gonna be a really good game. I got respect for both teams, honest to God. I know sometimes I go on here, but I ain't shoot I rock with it. But I really got a lot of respect for both coaching staff. I think it's gonna be a well-coached game.
We've talked about this on the show. Coach Jenkins and I go back as long as he's been in North Carolina. In fact, before he came to North Carolina, we sparked a relationship. And that 4-2-5, once again, that's the Gary Patterson TCU that won Gary Patterson a lot of football games 7, 8, 9 years ago. And Jenkins runs it just like what they did at TCU. There are a lot of variables that are built in. There are a lot of audibles, if you want to call it that, adjustments that you can make. They have their base adjustments whenever something crazy happens, and they get really, 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 really good at it. And once again, it doesn't matter who they play. A team is going to have to out-bully. I think that's what one of Huff's big mantras is, right? They call themselves the bully ball. You're going to have to out-bully the bullies. And that's what Vance was able to do last year in the springtime. And it's what Chambers is going to have to do Friday night.
Yeah. Because you really, we've been watching film. And you watch film, I think the only team that really tried to run it right at them in the middle so far in the playoff was Creek. And I told everybody that Creek Huff game was better than what y'all thought it was. It just Creek offense really get not on that level as their defense right now. And they're young. It's a young Creek team. But when they were running that ball, they were moving it now. They were moving, and then they get a lot of motions, and they caught one time in the flats, and they took, they got a big game. But like I said, you're not gonna catch that Huff defense out of whack. Just like you ain't gonna catch the Chambers defense. You'll catch them every now and then. Like Wesley caught Chambers one time Friday. They caught that deep ball, and that boy took off down the sideline. But once they are locked in, you're not really gonna do too much because they do everything. It's a process. They run that defense to the T, both sides. And it's like offense don't step up.
So here's what I like from Chambers that I think is going to be an important thing this week. When they came out against Weddington, they went to a 2 tight end set, ace set, 2 tight ends, receiver on both sides, and 1 back. That really helps you get good matchups
Yep.
and blocking up front. That's going to be a big key formation. I expect to see Chambers, come out and use that formation a good bit to see, how is Huff going to react to that formation, because it gives you gaps. It gives you gaps, and we talk about not wanting to go outside against Huff, but you got an A gap, a B gap, and C gap you can hit when you're in that 2 tight end set.
You don't see a lot of 12. You don't see 12. You don't see some 12 personnel. I don't know why people don't run a lot of 12 and 11 personnel.
I
like it.
Offensively.
Yeah, like with a lot of 4-2. Because like Kim said, you get a lot of 4-2-5 now. And even when people do 3-3 stack, and me as DC, I don't like seeing 11 and 12 personnel, because now we gotta make sure my guys line up right. If they don't line up right, that B gap might be wide, C gap might be, it's gonna be there. It's all about playing the game of the game of chances right there. A lot of people want to run 10 personnel. I'm just telling you, mainly in high school, you don't really want to do that, because you want to run outside and inside zones. So you got to have 11 and 12 personnel, but you don't see a lot of 12 personnel. They think that slow the game down, but it really don't.
I remember 2011, Coach Jenkins and I sit down and we were talking about his 4-2-5 and his different checks and his different calls. And I drew up a 12 personnel look, 2 tight ends, exactly what you're talking about, Pep. I call it doubles in my terminology. And I said, all right, Coach, you got 8 gaps here that you have to defend. You only have 6 players in the box. Those 2 outside players are hybrid players that are really more safety types than linebacker types, because you want the speed on the field, like we just talked about. Of course, there are answers that are built into their system, but it does become very difficult. Pep, you were at the game, and my second year at Central Cabarrus, we're 7-0. We're playing Northwest 7-0. We ran a 4-2-5 defense. In fact, Coach Jenkins came and talked to our staff about that, and I had guys on the outside who were 165 pounds. They were extremely quick, and they were very good football players. But all of a sudden, Northwest put their 2 big defensive ends, who were both 6'3" and 6'4", 230 and 245, at tight end. And our guys were like, whoa, now hold on now, Coach. That dude outweighs me by 70 pounds. And I may be able to power clean 275 pounds, but that dude weighs 245 pounds and power cleans 250. And he's just as quick as I am. And you have to have such gap integrity, and Coach Billups can speak to that way better than I can, but the level of gap integrity that your players have to have, because those 8 gaps, once the ball snapped, is constantly moving, so the gap is constantly moving, it really becomes 9, 10, 11, 12 gaps. Because once the ball snapped, there's movement up front, and there are double teams taking place, and it forces, especially the backside. We lost in 2012 and 2013 to have life, because a backside linebacker didn't do what he was supposed to do. He didn't keep his gap integrity. They have to be so disciplined. And if they showed 12 personnel last week, that is what Huff has been hounding in practice this week, I imagine, in their inside run game especially.
You probably, when you see 12 personnel, that's screaming to me, hey, you don't have to get a butt sweep or something coming. It's gonna be something nasty, and you gotta be ready. Fit in that gap, you gotta hold your contain, you gotta come down and make a play. It's about holding your gap. That's the only thing about being them gap scheme defense. Most of the time you don't tell your defense you don't tell your D line to go more than -1. You want them to stay at -1. They gotta sit in that gap. If they don't sit in that gap like that, they come down -2. They don't help the offense make the play. If Pep tell you that, like a lot of people, you think you just gotta play with 2 tight ends. You play with a tight end and an H-back. That's dangerous now too. And one of my favorite formations that Chambers does is that Wildcat. Like I love how they run it, and it's that Wildcat formation. That setup is so dangerous, because you don't know what you don't get. And Hollywood's such a weapon that he can go play receiver, and then you put KC right there at quarterback. He could pull it. Then you got little Cam right there, that running back, or they put somebody else. It's dangerous. They have not really done too much with that Wildcat, and I haven't talked to them about it, but I watch it. They got so many plays they can get off of it. Like you look at it, you're like, woo! They just did that. It's there. So, but Chachi is there. Like Chachi, Coach Jenkins, there will be prepared. I know a lot of people who know Coach Jenkins, and they say he's a very smart guy, very defensive man like him. So they don't be prepared for it, but it's just like that 4-2-5 kryptonite right there. When you see
This is what I can say about Matt Jenkins is I sat with him in February, not 10 years ago, and he showed me 200 different formations and looks. And he went through every coverage, every blitz, every stunt that he could run versus every single defense or offensive look, every single personnel package. And I asked him, I said, what the heck is all this, man? He said, if I'm not ready in February, how can I be ready in December? And that's his mindset. But it will be interesting. Talk about that Wildcat. It would be interesting to see if Chambers comes out. I haven't seen Chambers this year in person, but it'd be interesting if they come out in an empty double tight end look where they give some type of tight end wing or just a straight tight end on each side with twins and a single receiver to the other side, because now you are really effing up defensive what they know to do.
Yeah. But the thing, the thing I would say about Coach Q over there and Coach Furby and Coach Kenneth, them guys over there, well, I speak about Q because Q would sit here and call me and say I didn't say nothing. They're smarter than what people think they are. You gotta remember, Q was in Monroe and he was down there with that state championship program, so he knows football. And we gotta remember, Glenwood knows both sides of the ball. He's helping a lot on defense, but he was the offensive coordinator in Virginia, and he played quarterback. So that's why I tell people, as much as people don't think this is gonna be a really good game, these are two coaching staff that really, really know football. You don't really get that a lot in high school, now, but they both really, really. So you got to give kudos to seeing a matchup like this because we haven't seen a real good coaching battle in a long time.
And don't forget, this is the fourth time they've played this year in 2021.
Crazy.
That's what I'm saying. Like this game right here is going to be. I don't talk to people. People want to see Huff get over the rope because this is their kryptonite. It's Chambers in the playoffs. I've talked to people
before that.
Yeah, you see people. People have said the same thing about Chambers. Is this their last time? I would tell everybody this. Knowing what I know from both sides. Not say I don't spoke to somebody from Huff. I ain't spoken to somebody at Q for a while. It's gonna be some good football. It's gonna be great football. We all know. Hey, they coming over there. And it's two teams that they don't like each other, but I'm pretty sure they respect each other. I would tell you that. And hey, it's gonna be some good football Friday. I'll be tuned in on my iPad watching.
One of the go ahead, producer.
4 times in one calendar year. That's crazy to think about.
Games have been classic. All 4 games have been the best game of that year. That's the funny part about it. Like you gotta give them credit. That's why I tell people. If you want to talk bad, all you want, you say everything bad you want to say about Huff. You say everything bad you want to say about Chambers. But one thing you can't say is coach football, play football in both of them schools because they do it well.
The one thing I think is going to be really important on both sides, and I saw, we saw it, producer with Chambers, and I saw it on film, with Huff, taking the deep shots. Both of these offense coordinators will, dial up deep shots that they feel like they got a matchup they can win on the outside. Both of these secondaries are really talented. Both of these defensive coordinators don't mind leaving those guys out there on the island one-on-one. That is going to be the chance that one of these quarterbacks, whether it's Bubba at Chambers or Tad at Huff, whoever can hit 1 or 2 of those deep shots to get a big play and get a chunky yardage, because we both know you're not going to be able to just drive the field against these defenses.
Nah.
Whichever offense is able to dial up a deep shot and hit it, they got a really, really good chance of winning this game. We saw in person Chambers dial up the reverse pass I thought was the biggest play in that game. It was 14-7. Weddington had the momentum. They just had the big touchdown run second quarter, and they dialed that play up on first down midfield, got a touchdown, and they stole the momentum back, and they just took off from there.
Took the air right out of that Weddington sideline with that play.
Huge advantage. Speaking of Pep, huge advantage there has got to go to Chambers because of Pierce. Pierce is so long. Pierce is so quick. Last year in the playoffs, last year in the springtime in the playoffs, a couple months ago, Pierce totally took away one entire side of the field from Huff's offense. They could not throw quick game to Pierce's side because he is athletic enough and long enough to stop on a dime and coached well enough. Whoever the defensive line coach does a great job of teaching, getting their hands up. And you can't throw hitches. You can't throw slants. You can't throw quick breaking in routes. You can't throw quick breaking out routes because Pierce can knock all of those down. And then they were able to get so much pressure last year. And I think the Swindell kid graduated.
No, he's hurt.
Yeah,
he's hurt. Okay. I didn't think I'd heard his name. But, Swindell was able to get so much pressure inside and get a push. He dominated that game in the springtime. And so it'll be interesting to see. Once again, I haven't seen Chambers live this year. I haven't seen him on film this year. But it'll be interesting to see. Talking about that 50-50 balls, those deep shots, the defensive line play versus the offensive line play. I do know that Huff's offensive line isn't as big as it has been the last couple of years and not as they don't have as many stars and hype and all that mess as what they've had the last couple of years. So that could be huge. That could be not just the 50-50 ball with the receiver and the DB, but the offensive tackle, defensive end play up front.
And they got
absolutely.
They got two nasty ends. You got to put you talk about Pierce. I think Harbison playing right there now, and then they moved the young fella they're doing Jordan Jackson Bass. He's playing inside with a sophomore who's a freak. I don't know that kid's name, but he is nasty. I like that kid. Who is that young boy? You know what I'm talking about?
54, right?
54. That boy.
Yeah. Let me see if I can look his name up.
That boy. But everybody gives James Pierce a lot of credit, but Jackson Bass, he's a terror, and him coming from playing 5 to playing 4-eye and 3 technique now, that's pretty impressive.
Yeah, I think it's going like how you guys saying, man. It'll be a great matchup, man. Even though I don't know who offered this in the game, I know who I'm going with, but cause I have no dog in the fight. But
we'll take my
don't
take my saying. I've been saying that all week in the chat.
I mean, like everybody else. I'm sure everybody else in Charlotte, man. Like Billum said, let me talk about my boy Q before he kicked me out the group chat. My guy, Coach Wright advanced. Chambers, sorry, man, is a great offensive mind. I think him going to do more 12 personnel against Weston makes him hard to prepare for now because now you don't know what you're gonna see Friday. So I feel like as an offensive coordinator, if your bag is so deep.
Yeah,
it's harder defensively. As a defensive coach, I'm not watching 12 games. I'm gonna watch your 3 or 4 best games, and that's what we're gonna game plan off of. So now you it's week. So it's week 14. So you get a Chambers film that's week 14, and you like, man, they out here running 2 tight ends. I didn't know they had 2 tight ends. So now it makes the meeting longer on Sundays. So I feel like that was a great. I feel like that was a great month experience. Huh?
Y'all know who their second tight end is, right?
I know.
No. Pierce coming in every now and then, but that kid. They need to talk more about that kid. That's a great kid. He's a great teammate. Yeah. When I saw him,
he is.
And he was blocking his behind off out there, boy.
But I still think Chambers will come out on top, man. I feel like those guys over there, man, they catch a lot of heat, and they're just gonna keep proving week in, week out that they are for real. I don't know who else they got to play to get people respect. I don't know what else the coach got to do, So I feel like a lot of people hate on Chambers because most people are afraid of change. They don't like when they see something new. Older people want to hate on it. So you know what I'm saying? So I like what Chambers does. I wish them the best. Now, hopefully we see each other next week.
All right, so we got the last call for the game show. Last call for the game show. Other matchups this week, we got a couple of them. Let's talk about them real quick. We got in 3A West, South Point and Dudley. What do you guys think about that one?
I think South Point and Dudley's. I'm not gonna say. I think it's a rivalry game from what I've been reading. They got some bad blood from back in the day. It's gonna be an interesting game. It's just like you said. I think South Point do a lot of things that you want to do to a team that like Dudley, fast and they don't hit your beat. They run the ball, and Dudley stop that run game. they'll win the game big like they've been winning. But if they don't, it'll be a long night. That's all I would say. Just knowing what I know about South Point. And you, like me and Weber said earlier, you can't prepare for South Point. Nobody runs the ball like South Point. There's something different about that South Point football down there in Belmont. They run the ball good, boy. Hey.
Well, I'll tell you, we've seen Dudley go up against a heavy run team before. Producer, you remember that night at Charlotte Catholic where it was about 4 degrees. I know that. I know that. All I'm saying is that Dudley coaching staff is not going to be surprised or fooled or anything.
And this is what I was saying. I don't think they'd be surprised, but it's just something different. Like, people run the ball, but it's more than just running what South Point does. They are cutting you. They are cutting your middle linebacker. They are getting to that second level and cutting. And it's not like they cutting on first quarter. They cutting third down on third quarter. They're cutting every play. So all I'm saying is it's just different because nobody really runs that type of offense anymore. And like I've been saying all year, you do not want to play a South Point in playoffs because of one, the weather's cold, and you know they're not passing the ball. Like, you have to, I think it kind of challenges you as a staff and as a football player when you play South Point because you're like, you're gonna have to take those 2-yard gains. Like some games you can say if it's 2nd and 8, that's cool. You really don't want South Point to get a yard because if one person falls asleep, it may go for 7. If one person somebody don't do their job, it may go for 80. Like, these are the type of games where, man, you had to be disciplined. When I was telling people, I would not be surprised if this game is a low-scoring game because that's what South Point does. South Point doesn't care. If they have the ball for 10 minutes and don't score, they cool.
We've seen that.
Like, it's going to be a challenge, man, because I know it's running the football. The cutting brings a different aspect because Kenneth knows if you play against a team like this in practice, your scout team is not going to do this. After that first day, they're done.
Coach, you know, Coach Webb, there are so many ways you can try to simulate this when you're running scout team O. I had my guys literally scoop guys up like bear hug, Bill Goldberg them. I've had guys dive through. I've had guys that you can't simulate it. And Coach Webb was right. You can't simulate when a backside tackle on a 2 or 2I can take 3 steps and chop and hit below the waist in the back of the knee. You can't simulate that. And as a defensive lineman, if you don't have a lot of depth to get those guys in and out, a 17-year-old kid can only take being blocked below the waist so many times in a row before he just says, you know what, Coach, I'm going to take the ass chew when I get to the sideline. I ain't firing off the ball this time. And when you take that one play off, Webb just said it, that's when that 1-yard play turns into a 70-yard scamper, and you're racing, even though you've got better athletes maybe than they do. It's because you become so hesitant and so self-conscious because, A, you like your knees, and B, you like your Achilles tendon, and you don't want to lose either one of those two things. And that's what playing against the South Point offense does. You tear up ACLs and you tear up Achilles tendons.
So then 2A West, we got a matchup. Big Shelby hosting East Surrey. Big Shelby, got anything to say on that one?
I think it'll be a great night, great atmosphere, man, for both teams. East Surrey is not foreign to playing this late in the year. They were one AA powerhouse. They do a lot of different things. Everything goes through the quarterback, man. So their quarterback is their guy. He's their leader. We've had a great week of preparation for them, man. They do a lot of different things, you know, but it's not going to be one of those pushover games. I know a lot of guys are trying to say our game last week against Reedsville, like state championship, but East Surrey is a former opponent, man. They're not wanting to get pushed over. They're big up front. Like quarterback Boaz, he's a great kid, man. Their center is a Shrine Bowl player, so they have guys, man. And it's like one of those games you gotta be disciplined, but you gotta do our job, man. And it'll be a good night for both teams.
Absolutely. And then the Queen's gonna be there, so that's another reason for you guys to come out.
He's gonna be there.
You gonna get that liver sandwich?
With a liver sandwich.
Are you not getting a liver mush sandwich?
It's required.
No, I'm not.
It's required.
Last time Queen sat
No, it's not.
Hey, last time Queen came, she sat in the stand. She didn't even sit on sideline.
You can't sit in the stands, Queen. Come on now.
And she still had a great video, though. That's what's crazy.
Well, I mean, you know, that was allowed me, so that's what I went with.
You were in gym pop?
Well, no, she was in
I'll be
Gym
front
Pop.
row this time.
She was in gym pop. She didn't want to go down there.
She wasn't even in Gym Pop. She was in the season ticket holder section.
Oh,
Smoozing.
Bougie. I don't know how she got up there. I don't know who she was, Shelby, man.
Yep.
Oh, no,
They knew who the queen was.
All right. Well, for the first time in CFI history, we're gonna have a little game show. So,
Oh Lord,
I wish I had some game show music, but I really don't.
it's a game.
Although I can cue some up. While Professor, you take your time to get set up. Who is that? We got to figure that out.
Illustrious.
What happened?
Okay, we getting some feedback over there. So Professor, when I see it, we'll pull it on the screen. But while you're doing that, I'm gonna cue up some game show music to get us in the mood. Let's see here. What's good game show music? Let's go with hold on. Compelling television right now.
double dare.
Double dare. I don't even remember that song.
I don't either. It really was really random. I think game show, the first thing comes to mind is probably like Jeopardy or Wheel of Fortune.
We're gonna try this one.
Or Price is Right. Is that considered a game show? Yeah.
Here
Oh,
we go.
I about to say to answer.
Sorry.
We gotta add.
Hey, Pep. Oh, no.
All right. Y'all in the mood yet?
Can y'all see my screen or no?
We got the theme song, man. Hold on.
Oh.
All right.
All right.
Okay. That was great. So here's what we got. So we got everyone that commented on the show entered into the wheel right here. So we got
A lot of people watching, not a lot of people commenting. They're scared.
So we got 6 people on the CFI game show. We got Markel Riley, the chat administrator, Mariah James, John Speechless, and Miss Moten. So producer is going to spin the wheel, and then whoever comes up will be the winner of the game show. So let's hit it.
All right, let's do this for the 2 tickets to Friday nights. Chambers at Huff.
Well.
And the winner is Markel Riley. Come on down. You are the first winner of CFI's free ticket giveaway. Yay!
You got to meet you at Wendy's and get the ticket.
All right, so Markel's reaction. There you go. All right. Congratulations, Markel. I'll
tickets for profit, Markel.
I'll figure out how to reach out to you. I'll find you on Facebook and send you a message, and we'll get those tickets over to you. So congratulations, and that was the first, and it might be the last CFI game show.
People are afraid to get through on a video, Pat.
All right, so we leave the game show, and we're gonna go to our guest. We haven't had a guest in a while. We've been so focused on the playoffs, so I'm gonna put you guys backstage and give you a little break. But now we're going to bring on a state champion. The NCISAA Division II State champion Cabarrus Warriors did a great job in going down and defeating Harold's Christian for the D2 state title. We've talked about them a good bit on the show. We've had Coach Bolton on the show. We've covered them, throughout their great season. And they have a really good quarterback who I've known for a while now. And I'm really glad to bring him back on the show. And that is Tyler Green. We're going to bring him on right now. Tyler, how you doing, sir?
I'm good. How are you?
Man, I'm doing great, man. I'm doing great. Just want to say, first off, congratulations on you guys winning the state championship. That's awesome stuff, man. How did it feel?
It was awesome. It really still hasn't hit me yet. Like, it doesn't feel real, but it was pretty cool because, like, we went through a lot of adversity this year. Like, looking back in the spring, Max Riley got hurt for us. He was our leading receiver last year, so he missed the whole season. And then going up to the start of the season, we got hit with COVID, missed the first 2 games. And then that third week when we played Ravenscroft, we still had guys coming back midweek and stuff, so that was sort of a mess, but we got the job done. And then went to Concord. Cole Fruit got hurt, probably our best cover DB. He missed the rest of the year. Then Gavin Powell got hurt. He got banged up a little bit. Luckily, he came back a few weeks later. And then a few weeks later than that, Jackson Skerlock got hurt. And then he was probably our best tackler in the secondary. And he was out for the rest of the year. And then a week after that, Brayson Wilson gets hurt in secondary. He was also committed to UNC to play goal. He's one of the top 5 lacrosse goalies in the country. He's probably the most aggressive player in the secondary. But he came back for the playoffs. So it was just – and then the playoffs, it was like Murderers Row. We played Ravenscroft. They're a good football team. We were down, I think, 21-14 at half, came back, won 44-28 or something like that, and then played Metrolina. It was back and forth all game.
Yep.
That was a really fun game to be a part of. And then you go on the Heralds for state championship, which is going to be tough. They're a big and strong team. They beat us twice already, but it was just really cool to see. It just felt like somebody new stepped up every week and was making plays, so that was just really cool.
Yeah, absolutely. I kept getting, updates on all those games and the scores, and I'm looking at Twitter. I'm sitting here like, come on, man. Come on, get it done.
Yeah.
I was really pulling for you guys, and you got it done, man. I'm so happy for you. First off, I know there's some things that you want to discuss, and I'm going to give you the chance to do that. But I just want to know, what is it like playing, for Cabarrus Warriors? For those that don't know, it's 2 schools combined, First Assembly and Cannon, to make one team. So what is that experience like?
Oh, I mean, it wasn't. I mean, it doesn't really feel like it feels one. Everybody's together, everybody's combined, and I think when Coach Bolton came in, he did a really good job of bringing the culture together. So that, and then like there's this year, last year was like the start, and like this year there was just a whole nother level of energy and like excitement around the program. The community and faculty and like student section was great. They traveled everywhere with us. I think down at we were down at Harold's, including the players who brought 6 buses down to Harold's. So that was awesome. But I mean, it feels good. There's nothing. It feels everybody's together, and the culture's just changed ever since Coach Bolton. So it's just really fun to be a part of.
Absolutely. And you talk about culture, and I understand you guys did some bonding off the field as well,
Yes,
with you and your offensive line getting together. Talk to us a little bit about that.
So that's something I started this year just to show appreciation for those guys. Monday nights after practice, I'd have the O-line over for dinner, and it was just really show appreciation. Like I said, like when we score a touchdown, we spring a big run, I throw a big touchdown pass. Like nobody talks about in the newspaper the blitz they picked up or the block that sprung the big run or anything. So it's just really show appreciation for those guys. And when we were eating dinner the first time at my house, my dad opened his mouth and he was like, "Guys, if Will Jones, a running back, rushes for over 200 yards, I throw for over 300 yards, or we don't allow a sack or a tackle for loss, then we're going to have stakes." And I kid you not, we had stakes about 7-8 times this year, and it had to be the last 5 or 6 weeks of the season we had stakes. So they were just firing on all cylinders. But they were great for us this year. But like I said, it was just really show appreciation for those guys.
All right, my next question is: Can I become O-line coach, and can I get some of those steaks?
Yeah, we'll have to have you over next year for special guest next year for the O-line dinner.
I'm down for it, man. I'm down for it, man. That's awesome. Now, I mean, talk about your journey, man. I mean, the first time, I heard about you, you reached out to me on Instagram when you were in 8th grade and said that you guys were it was just canon at the time, and you guys were pretty good, and you're looking for coverage, and I came and saw you when you played against Jaden Davis when he was at Providence Day. And just the journey from when you were in 8th grade to where you are now, man. Just talk about how you got to where you are right now, being one of the best quarterbacks, quite frankly, in this metro area.
I think I've just I think the big thing was just getting stronger, getting in the weight room, being confident. I think is a really big thing. Like you got to be confident, you got to believe in yourself, and I just think I've just had more confidence each year, every game, really. And another thing is, like, in 8th grade, the core group of our varsity Cabarrus Warriors team now, we all played together in 8th grade. So,
Awesome.
So we just have a lot of chemistry and stuff. But I think that hasn't really – I wouldn't really say, like, my journey. It's been, like, more of a team journey, and just everybody's really got bigger, stronger, faster every year, which so I just think we've grown each year, and it's just been really fun to get better and better with those guys and just build chemistry. And I can't wait to see where it takes us these next 2 years.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was getting ready to say, man. You guys are still young. You still got
Yes, sir.
two more years ahead of you, and the future looks really bright with yourself and your teammates all sticking together and coming back and hopefully to repeat again. But I've got another guy that I think you might know. He's covered you guys earlier this season. That's our resident coach, Professor N. Engine, and also game show host, Kenneth McClamrock. And he's got a question or two for you, Tyler.
Yes, sir.
Tyler, what's up, buddy?
What's up? How are you?
Man, congratulations on
Thank
a
you.
huge win, huge season, man. It had to feel good going to their place
Yes,
and
sir.
getting revenge and for the state championship.
Yes, sir, for sure.
So, Tyler, I said it when I saw you in person. I think that as a sophomore this year, you were the top quarterback in Cabarrus County. Your instincts, your ability to move in the pocket, to step up and make plays with your feet, your ability to throw the football, and buddy, you throw stinking dimes, man. I would love the opportunity to coach a kid like you because I think that you can be really, really special. But, Tyler, you talked about your offensive line, picking up blitzes and stakes, all that kind of stuff. Man, I've got one hard-hitting question for you. 10-yard line, you're down by 4. There's 3 seconds to go, 10-yard line going in. Coach Bolton looks at you. He says, son, what do you want to do? What's your play call, Tyler? 10-yard line going in, down by 4, 3 seconds to go.
Down by 4. I think it's gonna have to be 4 verts, man. 4 verts is good for us all year. It sort of depends on the coverage, though. Probably can get man. It's got. I don't know. That's a tough one.
Well, as soon as you say 4 verts, you're a man after my own heart. I love it. Now, you guys have the freedom to break off routes. Can you make checks at the line of scrimmage?
I check some of the protections.
Okay.
But I think what's really cool about it is like me and Coach Bowen are like on the same page almost 100% of the time. So like it's just cool because like we're always communicating on the sideline and stuff. So we're always almost on the same page almost 100% of the time. So it all works out good.
How good can you guys be for the next 2 years?
I mean, as good as we want to be. I think that's really what it comes down to. I think we're all gonna get bigger, stronger, faster, like we did this year, and I think we're only losing six seniors that started last year. So
Wow.
we got everybody coming back. So I think we're gonna be as good as we want to.
That's awesome, Tyler. Well, congratulations and good luck moving into the off season, man, and all that off season work that you're going to be putting in. And can't wait to see what the Cabarrus Warriors look like for the next 2 years.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Really appreciate it.
I think Coach Bolton's going to be proud of you because you gave away no offensive secrets right there. Everybody runs 4 verts, and you didn't say anything else. So good job on that one. Thanks, Kenneth. All right, my last question is, when are you going to take a break? Right now you're playing basketball, and then you go into baseball, and then you're going to go right back into football after that. So, Tyler, when are you going to be a regular teenager and have fun?
I don't know, man. I guess when I get to college.
No, what do you do to kind of get away from the game and when you're not working on being a stud athlete?
I think obviously spending time with my family and stuff, and then also spend time with my friends on and off the field. I think we're all really tight, and we go do stuff together all the time. So I mean, just really spend time with my family, spend time with my friends, and I play video games every now and then. I sort of got away from it. I haven't played in a while. Might have to start doing that, but yeah, that's really it.
Well, Tyler, once again, thank you for coming on the show, man. Yes, and congratulations to you and your teammates for picking up an awesome state championship. And I'll be out there. I'll be out there real soon. Football come back around before we know it, and I love coming out there and catching up with you guys in person, and look forward to seeing you guys real soon, man.
Yes, sir. Thank you. Thank you for having me.
Absolutely. Thanks, Tyler. All right, so that was Cabarrus Warriors quarterback Tyler Green, state champion, Division II NCISAA. We're going to bring the crew back because, guys, it is that time. And when it's that time, it's time to slime, baby. Let's go.
You know what? Once again, I know he's got a big game coming up this Friday night, so he's got to get back and watch some more film. So we're going to start off with the man, Coach Webb. Who you sliming on the night?
Man, I just want to slime. I know it's already been talked about, man. I'm just sliming the fans that don't know how to talk junk about opposing teams and always want to throw the kids in it, man. Be a fan, talk your junk with adults, people your age, man. Just leave the kids out of it, man. I feel like it's a fine line between being a fan and just being a stupid person, man. There's no point of talking about nobody else's kids, because if anybody talk about your kids, I know you're gonna handle that situation differently, man. Be as cool, talk junk, talk about the coaches, talk about the principal, talk about the staff. That's fine. Just leave the kids out of it.
Yeah, agreed 100%. I think sometimes these knuckleheads forget that how they talk at work during their break isn't the same way they should be talking about kids, where kids and kids' parents can see it. I like that, Coach Webb. Coach Billups, who you sliming on the night?
I'm gonna fall like behind Webb, because some of that stuff that person said, and he's still on that coaching staff or still a part of that team, he needs to be let go. But we got to grow up as adults. I've been saying that for the longest, with most of the stuff going on with these kids and stuff like that. We are so critical about kids and stuff like this, and we're talking about how the kids are transferring here and there. We got to put it behind these adults. Most of the adults are the problem with a lot of these programs, and a lot of, it's not the coaching staffs. The coaching staffs, most of them are very cool, but I think the parents and people who don't even have kids that go to school who just super fans, I think y'all are the black eye of the football community. And if you sit around all day talking about some kids, you're pathetic. And I think you got to grow up a little bit and just look at yourself in the mirror, because like Coach Webb said, and he handled that situation better than I would have done, and that was one of my players. I think that you talking about somebody else's kid. Is that what your kid? What would you do? You be ready to fight. But if somebody's parent retaliates, then y'all getting all emotional. So I think y'all, it's a difference between talking smack and just being cruel. You need to talk smack. But I'm gonna slime all them people who get on them websites, who get on them message boards, who talk about stuff they have no knowledge of. Talk about the coaching staff, talk about the principal, talk about the school, but don't talk about them kids. And you need to be careful talking about these schools because that hurts some of these kids. Like they'll sit around and say, y'all say the school pathetic. You're basically saying the kids are pathetic because they're the people who are go to the school. So grow up, be adult, shut up, be out here being a part of the change. Don't be part of the problem. Grow up.
No, you're 100% right, Coach Phillips. It's easy to talk junk from the outside, but it takes a special person to actually get dirty and to do the work like what you're doing over at the G. Let's go to the queen, the bougie queen, sitting and styling and profiling with the money takers. Queen, who are you slamming on the night?
I'm slamming Duke fans. Duke men's basketball fans. Because they have, first of all, been on my nerves since the start of the season anyway. You know, and then they hollering they undefeated and all this other stuff. Well, now you're not. And now we ain't got to hear for the rest of the season how y'all undefeated. Jesus Christ. So, yeah. Duke fans, y'all getting it this week.
That's true. That's true. The producer, who you slamming on tonight?
I'm gonna stick with the theme of the group slimes and just based on something I've observed sort of in the playoffs. I'm gonna slime these fan bases of teams that don't, what I perceive as, really, really rally behind their team. I've seen teams, I'm at a game every week, so I've literally seen playoff caliber teams that, have thin crowds supporting them. So I don't know if it's parents, students, faculty, who actually who needs to round up, but, get behind these kids and support them, especially, they need that. Kids rally behind that. That motivates them to see people with them. So, that's just kind of a challenge I'm issuing for these fan bases and people out there that, kind of hopefully uptick the crowd and support out there. Because, I've literally seen playoff games where one team, and it might not even be that far away, where their crowd is really thin. So, I'm sliming people who, are, just kind of lacklusterly support their team, man. So hopefully that changes in the future.
I love it. Sorry. What the heck just happened? Stinking phone, put the show on. Pet Man, let's go to you. Sorry. Who are you slamming on tonight?
That's that CFI budget coming through. I'm slamming college football coaches, man. What in the hell is going on? We got college football coaches leaving programs, good teams that are in the college football playoff, and they just up and leaving it in the middle of the season. What is going on, man? I mean, we got Riley going to USC. We got Kelly going to LSU. Come on, man. Where is your freaking integrity? I mean, how do you get in front of these kids? I saw that leaked Brian Kelly video earlier today from his speech when he left Notre Dame. And he's talking about, I've recruited all these kids in this room. And then you give them a 4-minute speech and walk out the door. And then you're at LSU. I mean, come on, man. I've seen so many comments online on social media today talking about you ask so much of these kids and then you just turn and walk away, and these are good teams at 11-1. Got an outside shot at a national championship. And you can't wait till the end of the season? How, if I'm a parent and I'm looking at that and my kid is being recruited by some of these guys that are doing this stuff, how can you trust and believe in that man to take care of your son? It's crazy to me. I know it's a business, but come on, man. And also, someone please take Matt Rule back to college because I'm tired of him with the Panthers. Secondary slime. Get out of town.
You know, Pep, you took my slime, so I'm going to keep on riding with it because I can't think of anything else the last 30 seconds, but I was going to slime Brian Kelly because you're right. That Notre Dame is ranked 6th in the whatever that poll is for the playoffs. 6th. Now, they have a very slim chance of making it because they don't have a championship game. They're not playing this week, and a whole lot would have to happen. But it is wrong, and it's wrong on so many levels. Number one, because the season is still going on. It's wrong on so many levels because from reports that I've heard, his coaches, his assistant coaches, were in kids' homes when they found out, because their phones started blowing up, that their head coach was leaving. I mean, you talk about leaving their kids high and dry, kids who they've made promises to, kids whose living rooms and kitchens they sat in, mamas who they said, I'm going to hold your boy's hand while he goes through Notre Dame for the next 4 or 5 years. But we're talking about assistant coaches who have poured into the success of your program, assistant coaches who have made you the head coach that you are, and you didn't even give them the heads up. Could you imagine mama sitting there and her phone's blowing off and come to find out the defensive coordinator sitting in front of you, his head coach just left? How embarrassing is that? How embarrassing is that from Brian Kelly? I think we all knew, kind of coaches in the know, has known that Brian Kelly's probably not the kind of dude that you want your sons to be like or your daughters to marry. He's not a very good dude. But it's ridiculous. There's a reason why we talked about the transfer portal was created and kids should be allowed to transfer. Of course, we've also talked about the negatives of the transfer portal. But Brian Kelly, that dude deserves to be slime. LSU's president deserves to be slime. And athletic director deserves to be slime for allowing it to happen at this point in the season. Wait a week. What you're going to gain in recruiting and coaching staff is not very much because for the next week, teams are still playing. They're preparing for conference championships. Brian Kelly, you're slime double time tonight.
Amen. Amen, man. All right. Joe Hughes, right on time at 9:09 with his first comment tonight. Thanks, Joe. Appreciate your insight tonight, man. Awesome stuff. I'm just messing with you, Joe. I know you're out there covering some kind of high school event tonight. In tradition, the last comment comes from Miss Moten tonight. Scary feeling, #recruitment. When we get toward the end of the season, which is coming up, we've only got 2 shows left. We'll talk about recruitment and mention transfer portal. Just talking with some college coaches right now, this stuff is insane. It is insane, how they're trying to go after, kids right now. The one thing I can say is, kids, every chance you get, market yourselves, man. Market yourself every chance you get because you got to, man. There's not many spots out here, and you got to find a way to gain an edge. And you got to do something that these other kids and parents and coaches, in some cases, aren't doing. So market yourself. We got a camp coming up. Please feel free to sign up. We still have some spots available. The illustrious will be there. Of course, I'll be there. I know Big Shelby's trying to get some of his guys in there to get that exposure.
Oh, we coming. Hey, we coming, baby.
Well, I think, honestly, and I don't toot my own horn very often, but I think it's proven that any camp you come to, we give you the most exposure. We give you the most for your money. It's not just a one-day event with us. You're going to get constant exposure, constant pushing behind the scenes. And then we'll have, coaches there. I know one coach for sure is flying in just for this camp. I talked to him a couple days ago. He finalized his plans. So you want to go to camps where guys do the most for you. It's been proven. Some of these guys have come to all of our camps. Some of them will be back. They've already signed up. You guys have seen it. You get promoted by signing up for the camp. I mean, who else does that? So all that being said, I want to thank everybody tonight. I think it was a really fun show. We had a lot of good stuff talking about it. Marcus Freeman got promoted. That's official.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's official.
Awesome.
It's official.
Awesome.
Great hire. Great hire.
Yeah, I'm glad
I was
Notre
hoping we
Dame
could
did
have, man.
All right. With that being said, good night, everybody. Hey, if you're coming out to the game Friday night, let's see. I'll be at Huff. Producer will be at Huff. Kenneth, you'll be at Huff. Big Shelby will be at Shelby, of course. The Queen will be in Shelby, and
Big Bills be at Hub virtually on my iPad with my daughter. It's too cold for her to go out, man. You been there with my
it's
daughter.
gonna be 77 on Friday.
We ain't coming out there because she don't run the field. One of them boys try to hit my baby. It's gonna get ugly out there. I don't play with my baby.
Lord.
He know that's why Webb got that grin. He know I don't play.
Just sit in the season ticket holders like the Queen, and you'll be all right.
I don't sit in the stands.
Everybody ain't got it like me. Everybody ain't got it like me.
You sit in the stands. I don't sit in the stands. I'm on the sideline.
We do have one final comment. I'm sorry. My friend Nikisha, she called me after. No, listen to me.
No, not about that. Not about that.
Well, I need to say this because you caused a problem last week. She called me concerned that I would ban her from the show. And I said, no, I'm not going to ban you from the show. It's not your fault. I will take care of it. So
What? You caused the problem. That's
I
crazy.
appreciate it.
I caused the problem. Wow.
See, look. Now she acting like she ain't here. So
She ain't here where? Like she's not at the house? Or she's
you don't see it.
Webb, stop.
Hey, but look.
Go ahead.
Tony Stone left a comment talking about the hit our quarterback took. Our quarterback is perfectly fine. He was only out for 2 plays, Mr. Tony, and we have a great athletic trainer. So if it was anything,
I think he was doing a little too much.
If we had anything concussion related, our athletic trainer would not put him out there. I can rest you assured that. And after he got hit, he proceeded to throw 2 more touchdown passes. So I feel like everything was all right in the back of his mind. So, Mr. Tony, he's great. If you want to check him out Friday, he'll be there. Check the Queen's Twitter. I'm sure he'll be all on.
And
good night, everybody.
And you gotta stop. Webb, I'm glad you said something, guys. So I think you would step on toes right there, like they were trying to cheat. When players get hit in the head, they gotta come out the game and they get evaluated. Every team in the state of North Carolina has a physician on the sideline and an athletic trainer, and that physician got approved for the player to go back out there. So I don't know why you was asking that stupid question. Nobody don't sit there and put kids' health in danger to win a football game.
Especially not a quarterback. Now maybe if you're a D-line.
Jesus Christ, man. Nah.
All right. Well, this is a preview of what CFI After Dark sounds like. So the CFI After Dark pilot
starts now,
baby.
More drinks in hand, though.
CFI After Dark, baby. Cover the strings.
Oh man.
Good night, everybody.
You can do it. There you go.